Hello, everyone. This is Josh Vision, and I'm here to give you my Vikings Season 6A thoughts on the last few episodes. For one, I want to say I really thought Lagtha's funeral episode was really well done. I really liked the music that was played. I liked how the last image you see of her is basically like a sand sculpture of her and Ragnar side by side in death. Besides that, I really like the whole aspect of Ube and Torve. Ube and Torve. They're going to like a new land with her daughter, and the whole story with Flat Nose and this new character, Athelstan. And we're finally going to figure out what the freak happened to Floki. And I'm looking forward to that. And also this new land where they're apparently going to show up at. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm really happy for that. And also I'm happy that Ube got out of the mix, because I feel as though Ube can actually thrive in a mix when he's not really dealing with the mistakes or the BSery of his brothers, aka Bjorn and Ivar and Visick, so on and so forth. So speaking of Bjorn and Visick, I personally hated the fact how Bjorn just let Visick just escape. Now, do I feel as though Visick was justified in killing Lagtha? He was, because, she killed his mother, like I mentioned in other videos, but at the same time, he's kind of been going crazy as of late, and everyone knows that. He's been somewhat half mad. So I feel as though Bjorn's way of dealing with Visick was kind of ridiculous in a way. It's like, listen, either you just smack him up or beat him up, whatever, and then he learns his lesson, or you just ban him, but don't basically leave him out to die, because there's always that possibility that he may become an enemy. And I think that's one thing that frustrates me. What frustrated me about the whole thing with Bjorn is Bjorn was not thinking outside the box. He was thinking with his heart, not his head. And that's one thing his father mentioned to him, I believe around season 3, episode 9 or 10, like episode before Ragnar tricked everybody into thinking he was dead, and he used the cast as a way to get into the Paris walls and basically take the priest and the king, kill the priest, get the king, get all the men back, get all the men into the town to be pillaged and all that. But that was the main thing, that Ragnar mentioned to Bjorn, think with your head, not your heart. And I think that's what Bjorn has been making so many mistakes on, not like over his tenure on the show, basically. I think that could be said not just with the Visick situation, but also with his wife. His wife's a very good woman, a warrior shield maiden, but yet he cheats on her and goes with the servant woman and constantly disrespects her. These are like elements of things in which he chastised his father about, but he does the same thing, if not worse, than Ragnar. And I think with Ragnar, if you look at it, when Ragnar cheated with Aslog, it's kind of like, well, Lagertha cheated with Rollo. And we don't even know if Ragnar was even aware of it. Ragnar was smart, so he probably was aware of it at some point. You know what I mean? So, but I'll just do but that's just another topic for like another video. But yeah, Bjorn so far has been I don't like the fact how he has been using his noggin basically. And I think with Ivar and Visick coming together, they're the most dangerous combo we've seen so far in this series. Just a matter of time before Kattegat was going to get destroyed from within. Especially with Bjorn losing the kingship to King Harald. Again, King Harald being the king of all Norway now, and the amount of armies and men he has, it was like Bjorn was screwed one way, and now with Ivar, Visick with their new leader, at least for now, because we know how Ivar is very good strategist, and it won't be long until he takes that dude out. But either way, it was just too much for Bjorn it's too much for Bjorn to deal with, which ultimately was the case. And I really enjoyed the conversation between Bjorn and Ivar, in which they really voiced their opinions about, well, who's at fault here? Who's at fault there? No, it's your fault. And who's really the true heir of Ragnar? It was like a conversation that they should have had from the get-go. It's a conversation I believe they should have had. Well, there's two instances I believe they should have had this conversation in a way. It's like you could say they should have had a heart-to-heart, right after, Bjorn had come back and literally saved his mother from getting murdered by Ivar and Ube. But you could also say they should have had a conversation in terms of a heart-to-heart about how they felt about certain things, even back in the beginning when we first seen Ivar and like the older version of Ivar and Ube and Visick and Sigurd, you know, like during that time skip after Ragnar versus Rollo. Like there's just certain images, like there's certain places in the series in which Ivar and Bjorn should have had this heart to heart, because it's clear that they're the most ambitious ones, and probably the two best sons that Ragnar had. And it's clear they both are aware of that alpha nature. And I feel as though if they just had spoken things out, things would have been so much easier. But that's the problem. When you both got massive egos on both sides, you know, it's it's hell to deal with. But in terms of Bjorn, nah, Bjorn's not dead. Nah, there's no way he's dead. I feel as though he's alive. Do I feel as though he's going to last until the end of the series? Possibly, because historically he lived long. He lived a long life, way longer than any other Ragnar sons, I believe. So I believe he's going to live. It's just a matter of, is he going to fight alongside Alfred, or is he just going to retire? Because remember him and Alfred's wife. There's a possibility that that could be his son or Alfred's. But I think there's going to be at least an issue of paternity in regards to whose son is it. And I think they're going to play that off basically like during the second half of Vikings. Because we all know it's going to end with Ivar versus Alfred. It has to end that way. The two smartest strategic minds of the series have to face each other. And I think we got a little bit of that like during a little bit of the trailer for the final season, in which we got a little glimpse into Ivar versus Alfred. But yeah, the only thing I'm just kind of in question about is like where Bien's gonna fit in. Is he gonna like get killed by Ivar at some point early in the season, or is he gonna fight along with Alfred, or is he just gonna retire, just let Alfred and Ivar just go at it? In regards to Ivar, my thing is too when it comes to his leader right now, who he's working under. I'm trying to figure out like, how long is it going to be until Ivar is actually the total leader of this army when he faces Alfred? Because I feel as though Ivar being second command will not work. It's a matter of when he's going to take that dude out. And if Ivar's going to do it individually, or is it going to be like a group effort with him and Visick, or is it going to be him, Visick, and Frady? Well, Frady's. I'm talking about Frady's. The guy's wife. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's just how long that dude's gonna last, because it has to be like Alfred #1 guy in his army, and like Ivar #1 in his. Like it has to. The series has to end that way, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think that's all I really have to say in regards to like season 6A. I thought it was really good. Once again, I liked how everything is kind of progressing, and yeah. If I miss anything, or you guys have any thoughts, write your comments down below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching my little short video, which ironic is actually 8 minutes. It's supposed to be 4 minutes, but whatever. I just shot the breeze with y'all for a bit. Thank you guys for watching. Adios.